Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to State Champs Chat. I'm Kiera.
And I'm Stephanie.
We have a lot of great things to talk about today, but remember, this show is where we talk about you, what's trending in sports. So we're going to start off with what's trending. Now, we know that you have already heard about this. The ESPN reporter Britt McHenry, she was seen on camera saying some really degradeful and nasty things to a toll person. So we're not going to talk about that because we know you guys have heard it to death. What we do want to talk about is the importance of social media, of knowing your surroundings. Everything you do now with the access of internet is for everyone to see. So even though you're still in high school, it's important that you be aware.
Yeah, this video really went viral over the internet, and it's really important. It's a teachable moment because it shows that everything you do is out there, and especially on social media. We all use social media a lot these days. Even if your stuff is private, people can take screenshots, put it out there, and especially for people in the public eye. I know Kiara and I can relate to this. As people that are interested in doing broadcasting, you have to be careful about what you put out there, and even starting in high school, you have to be careful about what you put on social media. People are watching. Future colleges look at your social media, employers, everyone does, and everyone makes mistakes, but you have to be aware of what you put out there because what you put out there on the internet is there for the rest of the world to see.
Yeah, and I think another reason me and Stephanie related to this is that being on broadcasting, you're on TV, you're shown. When you're in public, you're still representing whatever company you work for. You can't escape that. So
yeah, she was suspended for a week by ESPN, and it's still pending what else is going to happen. But we were talking about this. I mean, a lot of people are saying she might get fired because this isn't representing ESPN very well.
I think she should get fired. I'm going to take a stand and say that she should get fired because that was really awful things that she said. She could be angry, and everyone gets angry, and everyone can act irrationally, but it was so nasty. Like, that's a personality thing. That wasn't just like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm, crazy.
I definitely think that it was a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN took further action. However, things like this have happened in the past with reporters, so I'm not sure that they will do it, just because I don't think a precedent has really been set in the past for them firing people over things that they have done on social media or videos that have been posted of them. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, this one went viral, though, so I think that's what's going to be dependent, and it's going to be a lesson for all other people. But also, I think the 1-week suspension is up tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have an update really soon on whether she gets fired or not and what ESPN plans to do in the future. But to make that situation a little bit lighter, David Spade, who's a famous comedian, did a spoof of it on Funny or Die, where he is like talking to somebody that you can't see, and he's saying really nasty things, and it's funny. So comedy.
He can get away with it.
Exactly. So if you want to watch that, check it out on Funny or Die.
Next, we're going to head to our Athlete of the Week. Every episode of State Champs Chat, we're going to choose an athlete that's done really well right here in Michigan this week, a high school athlete. So this week it is Emma St. John of Grosse Pointe South softball. She threw a perfect game last week, has won all 6 games for Grosse Pointe South so far, thrown 3 no-hitters and 3 one-hitters, which is just really outstanding.
Awesome.
And now that it's getting into spring sports season, we want to hear from you guys and who you think should be the athletes of the week. So make sure to tweet at us and let us know who you want it to be. Speaking of athletes here in Michigan, we're going to talk about a little bit of recruiting on this episode. Even though it's not football and basketball season, recruiting is still huge, and it's a thing that a lot of people talk about all year long. So Mike Edwards from John Glenn High School just committed this past week to play basketball at Georgia. So this was big news. He's 6'10",
wow.
Signed his letter of intent this past week, and he did really well this past season. He was getting looked at by U of M, Nebraska, Georgia, Kansas State, and it came down to Georgia and Nebraska, and he chose Georgia. So that's really exciting.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah, big news in recruiting from here in Michigan. Speaking of other recruits, Michigan football just got another commit, Carter Dunaway. He's not graduating until 2017, which is crazy how early that they are recruiting kids these days.
So he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
And he's already committed to Michigan.
Yep, and his brother Jack is going to be a walk-on for this fall in 2015, and his dad actually also played tight end at Michigan back in the day, so he's going to be playing tight end, and we found this really interesting because it is happening so young.
Yeah, I mean, to be recruited your sophomore year of high school is intense. That puts a lot of pressure on you. I don't know, that could go either way. Either you can kind of overwork yourself or stress yourself out that each game is so important, or you could really take it to, go hard on every game. I don't know. That's really, really soon to be serious about.
And in my opinion, when do the schools know their set of skills? I mean, I think a lot changes from when someone is 15 to when they're 17,
Exactly.
18 in terms of their skill set, their size. So it's hard. And we were wondering, and talking about this, how much him being a legacy plays into this.
Exactly.
The fact that his dad played football there, how much is that playing into the fact that he's getting offers to go there? And
is that fair? I mean,
yeah.
it kind of goes both ways. I see it. It's awesome that you would play for the same school as your father, but are you getting an unfair advantage to be recruited your sophomore year at the same school as your dad? I don't know.
Yeah. And speaking of legacies, this reminded us, LeBron said in a Detroit radio interview, that his son, who's 10 years old, is already getting looked at being recruited to play basketball, which is crazy.
How young is too young to get recruited? Obviously, 10 years old is too young, and LeBron actually said that he doesn't like that. Universities shouldn't be seeking out his son at 10 years old. Let him play for fun, let him get it out there, and then once he gets to high school, then you can do that. And sophomore, junior year, I guess, is a good year because that's when you're supposed to start figuring out what college you want to go to educational-wise. So there's no reason you can't do it sports-wise. But when they get so young, it's like schemy, slimy, like, I don't know, I just see like...
Yeah, when is too young? And Andre Rison, who played at Michigan State, he just came out saying his son is now, Hunter, is now saying that Michigan State is his top choice to play football at, another 2017 kid. But he's come out multiple times saying, let him figure it out on his own. He said, I bleed green and white, but, I'm going to let him choose where he wants to play football.
Yeah, so we'll see what he chooses, after his sophomore year. Hopefully give him another year or two before he nails down a place.
Yeah, and a hot topic is the next thing that we're going to talk about, which relates to this recruiting and recruiting so young. A UCLA 5-star recruit, Soso Jamabo, was arrested this past week for after prom.
Yeah, after prom, fleeing from police.
Yes, and he was a highly sought-after recruit for 2015, so we just thought this related to the recruiting topic that we are talking about. How much pressure is on these guys they're in the public eye after they're these big-time recruits, and then it's scary how it can all be thrown away in a moment like this. It kind of reminded me of J. Rue Campbell. I mean, that situation was a little more extreme here in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Player out of Cass Tech that had offers to play at Michigan State and then had a couple incidents and then was in jail.
This is completely, lighter.
A little bit lighter, but however, it's crazy how these kids have so many eyes on them and their scholarships can get thrown away pretty easily.
Yeah, UCLA hasn't said that they're going to strip it away from him, and honestly, I don't think they should. But this goes to show, once you're kind of a public figure in a way, since he was, such a big basketball player, it puts a lot of pressure on him. They said that he had alcohol, but he wasn't intoxicated. He didn't get charged with a DUI. He got charged with possession. So in my, Kiera philosophy, I feel like since he knew he had it in the car, he was probably freaking out driving like, oh my gosh, my life could be over. I don't know what to do. He had people in the car with him. I think the adrenaline just got him. And so he fled from police, but reality came in like...
Yeah, we don't know the details.
No, we don't know. That's Kiera's philosophy. What happened? I think the pressure of like, oh my gosh, I have so much going for me. I don't want this small thing to take everything away, which is a problem. And that is
the thing, that it's a lot of pressure on these kids that are getting recruited so young and verbally committing to school so young.
Yeah, but like we kind of talked about, it could go positive or negative. When you are recruited young, it gives you something to look forward to. You have a goal. You want to work hard. On the opposite side, you could work too hard. You could stress yourself out. It could be all-consuming. So make sure you have a good balance, and I think that's family and friends will do that for you.
Now we're going to head to something a little bit lighter. It's our Score or Fumble segment. Kiara, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, this is my favorite segment. Score or Fumble. We'll bring up a topic or pictures, and you tell us if it's a score or if it's a fumble. The first thing we're going to talk about is the new NBA championship rings. They were released not too long ago. Super blingy. What do you think? Are they scores or fumbles?
Yeah, I saw the NBA posted all of them for the top 16 teams on Instagram recently, and I think some of them are a bit much, but I think it's a score. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, so I definitely think they're a score. I think most NBA players are pretty gaudy and, that kind of thing. So I think it goes along with it. Should championship ring, it should be extravagant. My favorite personally is with the green leaf.
The Celtics.
Celtics. That was my favorite one. What about yours?
I liked LA's. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked them.
So definitely scores for us. The next score fumble is going to be stadium foods. Stadiums are getting more extravagant, more, filled with calories, awesomeness in their stadium foods. And so we have a few for you to see, and we're going to say if they're scores or fumbles for us. The first one is from the Detroit Tigers, Comerica Park, pork rinds, and it comes with a side of cheese sauce. Stephanie, do you think it's a score or fumble?
I'm a big foodie, and I have to say this one is a fumble. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It seems a little bit gross to me.
Yeah, I mean, pork rinds and cheese sauce maybe isn't ideal, but it's a Tiger, so I'm going to have to go score.
Okay.
The next one looks so yummy. It's called a churro dog, and it's Arizona Diamondback Chase Field. And let me tell you before we say if it's a score or fumble, what's in it. It comes with a donut bun, a churro inside of it, frozen yogurt on top with caramel and chocolate. Stephanie, is this a score or
fumble? Score. I don't think I could eat it all by myself, but it sounds incredible. I love desserts, and I wouldn't be able to pass it up.
Oh my gosh, that looks so good. It's making me hungry right now. It's definitely a score in my book, but like Stephanie said, I have to share it because I would want to walk out of the stadium. And if I ate that whole dessert, I think that would be impossible. But it's frozen yogurt, so I feel like they're trying to make it a little
healthier.
Right? I don't know.
Deceiving.
The next one comes from another Michigan, West Michigan Whitecaps Fifth Third Ballpark, and they're actually known for a lot of crazy stadium food. So shout out to them. Yeah. The first one we're going to talk about is the Baco, which is a bacon taco. Stephanie, score or fumble?
Fumble. It seems a little bit gross to me. Not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so I'll definitely have to go fumble. But for all my bacon lovers out there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a score for more people. I think we're outnumbered on this one. But let us know what you think. Tweet at us and let us know if it's a score or
fumble.
fumble.
And let us know, do you think that these are bringing more people to the stadiums, especially minor league teams like this? I feel like it's their way to get more people to the games, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
We'll see.
Another one coming out of West Michigan Whitecaps Fifth Third Ballpark is the Fifth Third Burger. Now this one was featured on the Today Show and Sports Center. It's huge. It's like, man versus food. I feel like it's one of those challenges. It has Fritos, chili, cheese, salsa, lettuce, tomato, whatever. It's huge, it's ginormous.
5,000 calories.
Good Lord. Score or fumble, Stephanie?
Fumble.
Fumble? Like I said, I'm a vegetarian, so I wouldn't eat it. But I would give it a score because I would pay good money to see somebody try to attempt to eat that.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so that concludes score or fumble. Make sure you tweet us and let us know which ones you thought were scores and which ones you thought were fumbles. And also let us know what crazy, wacky stadium foods that you have eaten recently.
Now we're going to talk about what is on State Champs this week, as always. Our feature, we're going to talk about lacrosse and its growth over the past 10 years. It's been 10 years since the MHSAA made it an official sport here in Michigan. So Sean Baligian is going to talk about that on our show. And also we're going to have an update in our UAW Chrysler Baseball Player of the Year contest, as well as all of our other contests. So once again, make sure to interact with us on social media and head to our website, statechampsnetwork.com. All our contests and promos are on there. So make sure you're voting in them and checking it out every week.
Yeah, I think that wraps up State Champs Chat. I'm Kiera.
And I'm Stephanie.
And remember that this show is about you. We're talking about what's trending in sports. Have a great day.